Right now, as you're watching this video, money is quietly slipping through your fingers. Not because you're careless or irresponsible, but because you're human. You're making the same money mistakes that millions of people make every single day. And here's the thing that might shock you. Even financial experts made these exact same mistakes when they were starting out. The difference is, they learned to recognize these patterns and break free from them. What if I told you that by the end of this video, you could identify the 5 most common money traps that are probably costing you hundreds, maybe even thousands of dollars every year? And more importantly, what if you could start fixing them today? Let me start with a story that might sound familiar. Sarah, a 23-year-old marketing assistant, thought she was doing everything right with her money. She had a job, she paid her bills on time, and she even managed to save a little each month. But somehow, she always felt broke. Sound familiar? Sarah was making the first major money mistake that's probably affecting you right now. She was focusing on the wrong numbers. When most people think about their finances, they focus on their salary. They'll tell you proudly that they make $50,000 a year, or they'll complain that they only make $35,000. But here's what Sarah discovered, and what you need to understand. Your salary is just a number on paper. What matters is what you actually keep. Think of your money like water flowing through your hands. It doesn't matter how much water is pouring down if most of it is escaping through your fingers. The first money mistake you're probably making is not knowing your real take-home income after all expenses. Sarah thought she made decent money, but when she actually sat down and calculated what she had left after taxes, rent, utilities, groceries, transportation, and all her other fixed expenses, she realized she was living on less than she thought. This is why so many people feel like they're barely scraping by, even when they have what seems like a reasonable income. Here's a simple exercise that will change everything. For the next week, track every single dollar that comes in and every single dollar that goes out. Not just the big expenses, but everything. That coffee you grabbed on the way to work, the parking meter, the subscription you forgot you had. Most people are shocked when they see where their money actually goes. It's like turning on a light in a dark room and suddenly seeing all the furniture you've been bumping into. But tracking your money is just the beginning. The second mistake you're probably making is something I call lifestyle inflation. And it's probably the sneakiest wealth killer of all. Picture this. You get a raise at work, maybe an extra $200 a month. You're excited, you feel like you're moving up in the world, but within a few months, you're back to feeling broke again. What happened? Lifestyle inflation is like a shadow that follows your income. As your income grows, your expenses grow to match it, sometimes even faster. You start eating out more because you can afford it. You upgrade your phone plan, maybe get a slightly nicer apartment, buy better clothes. Each decision seems small and reasonable, but together they eat up your raise and sometimes more. The wealthy understand something that most people don't. Your lifestyle should grow slower than your income. Think of it like climbing a mountain. If you try to run up the mountain as fast as possible, you'll burn out quickly. But if you pace yourself, taking steady steps, you'll reach the top with energy to spare. The same principle applies to your finances. When your income increases, resist the urge to immediately upgrade everything. Instead, save or invest a portion of that increase first. Then consider modest lifestyle improvements. This brings us to the third mistake. And this one hits close to home for almost everyone. Not having an emergency fund. I know. You've heard this advice a million times. But here's why most people don't follow it, and why you might be making this mistake right now. An emergency fund feels abstract until you need it. It's like insurance for your car. You hope you'll never need it, but when you do, you're incredibly grateful it's there. The problem is, most people think they need to save 3 to 6 months of expenses all at once, and that feels overwhelming. It's like looking at a mountain and trying to jump to the top instead of taking the first step. Here's what you should do instead. Start with just $100. That's it. $100 sitting in a separate savings account, untouched. You'd be amazed how much peace of mind that small amount can give you. Once you have that first $100, aim for $500, then $1,000. Each milestone will feel like a victory, and you'll start to understand the incredible power of having money set aside for unexpected expenses. Because here's the truth. Emergencies aren't really emergencies if you're prepared for them. They're just inconveniences. But even if you have an emergency fund, you might still be making the fourth mistake, not understanding the difference between good debt and bad debt. This is where many people get confused, and it's costing them dearly. Not all debt is created equal, and this is something they should teach in schools, but rarely do. Think of debt like fire. Fire can warm your home and cook your food, but it can also burn your house down. The difference is in how you use it. Good debt is like a controlled fire in your fireplace. It serves a purpose and, when managed properly, can actually improve your financial situation. Bad debt is like a fire that's gotten out of control. It consumes everything in its path and leaves destruction behind. Good debt typically includes things like mortgages, student loans, or business loans. These are investments in your future earning potential or in assets that may appreciate in value. Bad debt, on the other hand, Is debt used to purchase things that lose value over time or don't generate income? Credit card debt for vacations, expensive clothes, or dining out falls into this category. But here's where it gets tricky. Even good debt can become bad debt if you take on too much of it. A mortgage is generally considered good debt, but if you buy a house that's so expensive that the payments stress your budget, that good debt becomes a problem. It's like having a fire in your fireplace that's too big for the fireplace to contain. The key is to be strategic about debt. Before taking on any debt, ask yourself, will this debt help me earn more money in the future, or will it just cost me money? If it's the latter, think twice. If it's the former, make sure you can comfortably afford the payments without sacrificing other important financial goals. This leads us to the fifth and perhaps most costly mistake, not starting to invest early enough. This mistake is particularly painful because it's often invisible until it's too late. Let me tell you about two friends, Alex and Jamie, who made very different choices in their 20s. Alex started investing just $50 a month when he was 25 years old. Jamie waited until she was 35 to start investing, but she could afford to invest $100 a month. You might think Jamie would end up with more money, but you'd be wrong. Thanks to compound interest, Alex ended up with significantly more money by the time they both retired. Compound interest is like planting a tree. The best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time is today. When you invest money, you're not just saving the money you put in. You're also earning returns on that money, and then earning returns on those returns. Over time, this creates a snowball effect that can turn small amounts into substantial wealth. But here's where most people get stuck. They think they need a lot of money to start investing, or they think investing is too complicated or risky. The truth is, you can start investing with as little as $25 a month in a simple index fund. An index fund is like buying a tiny piece of hundreds of different companies all at once. It's diversified, it's simple, and it's one of the most effective ways to build wealth over time. The mistake people make is waiting for the perfect moment to start investing. They want to wait until they have more money, or until they understand the stock market better, or until the economy is more stable. But time is your most valuable asset when it comes to investing. Every month you wait is a month of potential compound growth that you're giving up. Think of investing like exercise. You don't need to be in perfect shape to start exercising, and you don't need to be a financial expert to start investing. You just need to start, even if it's small, even if it's imperfect. The key is consistency. Just like exercising for 15 minutes every day is better than exercising for 3 hours once a month, investing small amounts regularly is more powerful than making occasional large investments. Now, you might be thinking, this all sounds great, but how do I actually implement these changes? The secret is to start small and build momentum. Remember, you didn't develop these money habits overnight, and you won't change them overnight either. But you can start changing them today. Pick one of these 5 mistakes and focus on it for the next 30 days. If you chose to track your spending, commit to writing down every expense for a month. If you chose to build an emergency fund, set up an automatic transfer of $25 a week to a separate savings account. If you chose to start investing, research one simple index fund and set up a small monthly investment. The beautiful thing about fixing these money mistakes is that they build on each other. When you start tracking your spending, you'll naturally become more aware of lifestyle inflation. When you build an emergency fund, you'll feel more confident about investing. When you understand good debt versus bad debt, you'll make better financial decisions overall. But perhaps the most important thing to remember is this. Everyone makes money mistakes. The wealthy aren't wealthy because they never made mistakes with money. They're wealthy because they learned from their mistakes and developed better habits over time. Every financial expert you admire has made these exact same mistakes at some point in their journey. The difference between people who struggle with money and people who thrive financially isn't intelligence or luck. It's simply awareness and action. Now that you're aware of these 5 common money mistakes, you have the power to change your financial future. The question isn't whether you'll make mistakes with money. The question is, what will you do when you recognize you're making them? Your future self is counting on the decisions you make today. Every dollar you save, every debt you pay off, every investment you make is a gift to the person you'll become. Start with one small change today, and let that change grow into a lifetime of better financial habits. Your money is waiting for you to take control of it. The only question is, are you ready to stop making these mistakes and start building the financial future you deserve? Remember, this isn't about perfection, it's about progress. Every step you take toward better financial habits is a step toward more freedom, more security, and more options in your life. You've got this, and your future self will thank you for starting today. Knowledge without action is powerless. First, show your support by hitting that like button, then subscribe and turn on notifications. Most importantly, take action on the strategies we discussed today and share your results in the comments. Let's take another step toward financial freedom together.